Hey guys, Czar here. Good morning to you. Happy Monday. It's 9:32. This market is open. These are daily charts, by the way, of the three sisters, NASDAQ, S&P, and Dow. Very much in a rampaging bull market, hitting all-time highs once again. And I am moving you over to the three sisters grid. There's the opening three sisters for the 1-minute chart. Let me just reset these a little bit so we can really see this, with some proportion and some symmetry there, just like that. Let me get the open range indicator on there as well. We're going to apply this to all three, just like that. And you can see we are just rallying hard here once again. And we'll see how this thing plays out. I'm going to bring you over to the power grid. There's the Dow breaking above this most recent zone from Asia and Europe that was kind of set overnight here. Again, today is Monday, guys. And trying to move higher here on the S&P. Let's take a look at the NASDAQ and trying to do the same sort of thing, but in this little range that was created overnight in New York time. I'll be putting you on pause, guys, cutting out dead air, sideways grinding action, non-teaching moments, things of that nature to keep this video nice and tight. But I'll bring you back if and when we have a nice trade set up here to take advantage of. I'll put you on pause for now, and I'll bring you back. All right, guys, we're back. Looking at a long here. Just have my finger on my own button here and getting ready to go along. Watching the three sisters, by the way, on the other monitor. I'm going to show it to you in a moment. Stop is going to be all the way at the low of the day, below the low of the session. And that's a pretty big move. That's 104 points, but I'm okay with that given where we're sitting here today. Be a buy stop order, guys, right there. Let me a buy stop order live. Just going to expand that a little bit so we can really see what's going on here. Of course, we need here to remain above the open range. We have broken, closed, and then broken again in the pre-New York, so in the European session. And then dropped all the way down here on the open and immediately rejected and pushed higher. And that to me is a bullish vibe coming into the session here, given the bullish daily configuration, of course, and the fact that we are at all-time highs. And I'm in, guys. Triggered in. I am long the Dow. This is a trend continuation trade, of course. Primary target is 1R right there. That's 1R. Same distance as the space between my entry and the stop is 1R. And we'll look for a more extreme target of 1.5 and 2R for the other models that we track as well. And you will see that if you're new, right at the end, I'll do a summary of how these models did. For now, I'll put you on pause. We'll come back and talk more about this entry. All right, guys, we're back. Just kind of grinding around here on the Dow. What I will tell you is this, and I don't often do this, but I've also gone short. So doing the opposite on the NASDAQ. Let me just check my entry here. Entry actually was on this spike down right there. And I have my stop above the high. So this is, again, big stop here. Doing something similar on the NASDAQ than I did on the Dow, but the opposite direction. And sometimes we can get these wild divergences in direction between the NASDAQ and the Dow in particular. And I've just done a little video, and I'll be sending out on why that happens. It has to do with an overlap in holdings and lack of overlap in holdings of those two indices. But I'll send that out in due course. So I'll be watching this at the same time, guys, in one video. It's unusual, but I don't know how else to do it. I only have one PC that I use for trading, and so this is the one that I am dealing with here. Let's go back to the Dow, see how we're doing there. Hanging on. hanging on for the time being. We'll see if this thing can hit our primary target of 1R. We're holding above here, of course, above the prior day's high. That's Friday's high. You can see it over there and up in the top left-hand corner. That's Friday's high right there. You can see we are significantly above that, and a very bullish candle here in clean, new, fresh territory, and that's obviously, well, can be helpful to the bullish case, certainly, where there's no overhead resistance to speak of. The only people that are hurting in this trade are the shorts, who have been, fading this rally, or have had long-term shorts that they're just getting a little tired of. And they, of course, to close out their shorts, have to buy, and that's just more fuel for a rally. So we'll see how this pans out. I'll bring you back. All right, guys, we're back, and as you can see, the NASDAQ trade has already hit 1R. So the 1R all or nothing trader has left the game with full profitability. Of course, the 2R move stop to break even has moved their stop to break even. They will either get a break even or a 2R and nothing in between. And we're going to sit here and wait to see. Maybe it's going to happen here live. Who knows if the 1.5R trader can hit profits as well. In the meantime, the Dow trade, it's grinding along, and now it's pulling back a little bit, of course, under the weight of the NASDAQ. We'll see if that's going to pull back and get stopped out way down here, or if we're going to at least hit the primary target of 1R. I'll keep you posted. We'll come back. And target 2 has been hit on the NASDAQ trade. The NASDAQ short, and so the 1.5R all or nothing trader has left the game with full profitability. It looks like we're going to head lower here, guys. We are in a clean traffic zone, and there's not a whole lot stopping this thing from pulling back even more. And that's why I wanted to really get a short in here as well, especially when I saw the weakness here this morning on the NASDAQ. This, of course, is a form of a reversal trade, guys, but it's a trend continuation from earlier here today, with this kind of move down and this pullback and then failure back into the open range. Again, impulse down, corrective up, failing to get beyond the open range. It's a 1 minute open range, by the way, and then breaking down below. And it's taken a while, but just not been able to sustain a rally here, and hence the short here today. Put you back on pause, and we'll monitor both these trades. And there it is, guys. On the NAS short, we have now hit target 3, and so the 2R all or nothing trader has left the game with full profitability. In fact, all 4 models are fully profitable. The 1R all or nothing hit right here, the 1.5 hit here, the 2R all or nothing, of course, and the 2R move stop to break even. As we move stop to break even at 1R, we never came back and tagged it. So we have a full profitability and a plus 2R win result on the NASDAQ trade. I am still long the Dow, of course, and that one's struggling a little bit now. That was the first trade I entered, if you remember, almost right off the open. We were that was at 9:40. Well, 10 minutes in, waited a little bit for things to kind of firm up a little bit. And then went the opposite direction with the NASDAQ. There's a function of hedging in there, not a real hedge, because I believe that both of these can actually work out. But the reason, let me just take you back to the NASDAQ. You'll see that I normally wouldn't enter a trade right in the middle of the open range. See the 1 minute open range there, the top and the bottom? I did on this one because I was already long the Dow, and this one was really setting up to be rolling over and to continue down after this impulse move. And so I was happier. I was okay with taking this one a little bit earlier than I normally would have, instead of waiting for the breakdown here. Either way, it would have worked out. I would have then had my stop above here instead of way up here. And so that would have been a 2R right about here instead of only 1.5 at that level. So there are different ways to do this thing, of course, guys. And this is, I think, the first time since I've been tracking the 4 models that I'm doing 2 trades in one video. And I think this is actually probably the only way I can really do this. And it's something that's been bugging me a little bit lately, with the VIX being very low and being trapped into a trade to show all 4 models for sometimes 2 to 4 hours even. And I might be long gone in my own account. Maybe I left at 1.5R because of structural reasons, and I openly talk about that in many of my videos. But then I'm locked into showing the two, the play out of the entire trade, and I can't show any other trades that I might be entering. This is a way that I might be able to do it. So here are two trades. One is complete. I'll take you back to the Dow, and you'll see this one is pulling back now. But we'll show the net result of both of them, of course, and I'll post both trade outcomes, win or lose, and then monitor from there. So I'm just trying this out. You can let me know too in the comments if that works for you. And not that I'm going to change anything, quite frankly. If this is the only way I can do it, then that's possibly the way that I need to do it in order to be as all-encompassing as I can. Because sometimes a 4-hour trade, of course, that's a half of a day, half a session being stuck just because I'm showing you all 4 models, whether I'm still in it or not, right? Because it's the mechanical play out of those 4 models. Hope that makes sense, guys. Maybe I'm rambling a little bit here. That is very possible. It is Monday. I'll be right back, guys. We'll see how this one pans out. All right, guys, we're back, and it looks like we're going to get stopped out here on this Dow trade. Remember, this is the one I entered first before the NASDAQ trade at 9:36 a.m. It is now 1:27. So what's that? 9, 10, 11, 12, 1. We're almost 4 hours into this trade, and it looks like it's going to end in a 1R charge. I already have the score up here, as you can see, the results, because I think that's what's going to happen here. And that really is a shame, because this is actually setting up to be what I would look towards a long on if we broke the high of the prior 30-minute candle in that bullish configuration. But I got to stick to the model. This is where I placed my initial stop, and that's where I got to get out if prices come back. And we almost hit 1R here. The primary target didn't quite make it, and then sold down. Now, thankfully, I did enter that NASDAQ trade just a little bit after entering this one, and was able to get a full 2R win on that one. So it looks like we're going to give back one of those R's here. At least I'm going to give back one of those R's on the Dow trade, and we will move back into the afternoon and see what opportunities are available to us there. So I'll put you on pause until nope, there it is. I don't have to put you on pause, guys. There it is. It's a 1R charge across the board on this Dow trade, and a nice 2R win on the NASDAQ trade that I showed you a little bit earlier on. Thanks for being here, guys. Have an amazing afternoon, and we will talk to you soon. Take care.